I was asked, well, somebody pointed out many, many times this guy's channel, so I'm going to give my 2 cents worth. This guy's name is Paradoxman316. Um, really looks like a nice guy, but the last tape kind of had to stop halfway through it because it's like, oh my god, do we not see what the hell we're doing yet? And I guess that today's little spew has to do with, okay, we're feeling really, really bad about Japan and all the suffering that's going on in Japan. And then I'm seeing some people, some workers from the BP oil spill, they're all starting to die off, and we're going to feel really, really bad for those people. And it's like, if you're holding a gun and you're blowing up a neighborhood, you're not going to feel bad for those people. But you're going to feel bad for the people that had all the money, that needed all the stuff, that creates all of these guns that you go out and kill people with. I mean, there is a domino effect. I just don't even know how to. Can you not see the domino effect that for you to have your stuff, and let's face it, that Japan had, lots of technologies coming out of there. They're building lots of cars that are run on gas. BP oil is gas. A lot of stocks. I mean, the first thing that, as soon as these earthquakes went with Japan, you know what the first thing the government did? Put a lot of money into the business. Because we don't want the economic system to crash. Screw all the people that are hungry now and there's no food there. Like, there was no, oh, we need to get food on these shelves right away. No, the government was, let's go for the money. The corporations, so that there's jobs. It just is, you're in Iraq. You're bombing how many countries now that happen to have oil, that you want to think, oh, it's the governments that are doing all of that shit. But it's like, are you driving those cars? Like, if you felt really, really bad and you really, really wanted to feel sorry, really wanted to make a difference for somebody, stop driving your cars. Park them. You want your employer for you to work, say, figure this out, but I ain't getting to work unless it's a gas-free vehicle. We have the technology to not need oil, to not use nuclear power. We know how to do it, but we keep buying and working for these people in power. And these people that, they want to suck up your energy, your life energy, you're going to work for them and they're going to give you next to nothing. Well, they're going to take most of the paychecks, and if there's a little bit of hardship, they'll want their life back. But they really don't give a shit about you because you're just the little guy, the worker. It's the blue bloods that are more important than you, the worker. I mean, they have reality shows telling you. I mean, they're not scared to let you know that they are more special than you and you mean nothing to them. So it's like, when do you want me to care? And then this guy's channel is, he's got Deepak Chopra, like this guy's channel that I wanted to specifically talk about, that there's this, we're going to be consciously aware, we're starting to be a family, we're starting to help people out. No, we're not. We're not doing anything different. We constantly put band-aids on problems so that we sustain problems. It's exactly the way our healthcare system works. You get sick, I'll give you a pill. Let's not look at what caused the sickness. Let's not stop what caused anything from going wrong. No, we're just going to ignore, block, and deal all of the shit that caused all of that crap. Let's not be consciously aware of what created hell. Let's just put a band-aid on it and move forward. Let's just help each other move forward through hell. We're not going to stop hell. We're just going to constantly recreate hell constantly. And it's like, okay, he's clearly not consciously aware of Deepak Chopra, who's writing a book on saying, accept death. Death is the way to go. Here, Deepak Chopra has written a book on, ageless body and mind, was into the natural healthcare, live your life properly, and then writes a book on you should accept death. Wow. And this guy has a ton of money. And, I was a fan. I was a big, huge fan of Deepak Chopra until I started seeing his contradictions. He is the first one that is saying that we are about to make a transformation, that the gene that makes a caterpillar transform into a moth is only found in the human body, in the human heart. And he's the one that's saying that we are about to transform into something. But he writes this book that says, no, you're supposed to die. Don't make the transformation, die. After you've lived your life, gave birth to a few kids, then your purpose is done. It's now your time is to go. Some of the things that he has been saying, he has said that if we actually solved any problems, then we would be mummified mummies, not moving. He really, truly, through his meditation, this is why meditation is a little dangerous, because this guy meditates an awful lot. And in his meditation mind sees that, if we actually solve problems, we wouldn't move. The only reason human life exists and moves is because of evil, because we move. We only move because our problems force us to move. Our problems force us to get to solutions. The guy's freaking losing his mind. And with this lack of love that Deepak Chopra has inside him, he doesn't really understand what the meaning of intention is and how powerful intentions are. There's an intention experiment out there that already knows that if you meditate and your heart ain't right, you're going to meditate what's in your heart. You're going to push your will on other people through meditation. Works exactly like HAARP. So expect a lot of shit to happen if Deepak Chopra is meditating on Japan. Nothing good's going to come out of that one. Because we're not consciously aware of how we're helping anybody. We're actually killing people and we don't even know it. And it is through our intentions. Deepak Chopra never asks for what he could do for other people. He pushes his concept. He's like, what, a billionaire. How many books has this guy written? Does not want to fix any problems on the planet. While we see that we have an economic crisis, he feels the way to live his life is, live frugal. Keep all that friggin' money in his bank account. It's so easy to live frugal when he's got all the friggin' money on the planet and everybody else is starving. But if he buys himself a pair of shoes, he'll buy somebody else the exact same pair of shoes that he has. He figures that whatever he needs, somebody else needs the same thing as him. The man has completely lost his mind. And trust me, I was a fan of his. So it's consciously aware. No. We put band-aids on everything that's wrong. All of these non-profits are nothing more than how can we sustain everything that's wrong? There are no fixes. This aggravates me so much because the amount of money that we put into these non-profits to actually solve, could solve some problems. but there's no interest in solving problems, because if we solve problems, they'd be all out of jobs. But I mean, food banks are really easy to see. Why do I need food? There's a cause that makes me need food. Instead of donating food, instead of donating money, put that time and energy into solving the reasons why I need food in the first place. But we don't ever want to fix that, because if we actually fix that, then those that have all of the money that can donate food from, where did they get an abundance of food, so much food that they can now give it away? Where did they get this abundance? From all the friggin' crimes that are taking place, from that you don't want to fix, because it's running you're running your corporate world based on everything that's wrong. It's working for you. It's working for you so much that you have an abundance of it that you don't mind sharing in a food bank. Meanwhile, you're eating steak and you're giving beans to other people that are starving, and you're only giving them beans once a month. It's not like you can go into a food bank and get food every day. You're limited to how much food you're entitled to at a food bank. Meanwhile, the people that do give food have food every friggin' day. Why? Because of the system that they don't want to fix. Because they're able to get all of the food. They're able to get an abundance of food. I don't know if anybody's quite getting that. But that is our conscious awareness. When we are consciously aware, then you're seeing what your actions do to other people. And as soon as you see what you do to other people, then you'll stop. Because it's karma. Whatever you put out there is going to come back at you. So anytime you see some shit going on, like the Gulf, these are people, and I mean not to offend anybody, but it is going to be offensive when you see what you've done to yourselves. But here's, the Gulf Coast. They lived in a beautiful area. They had no value for their beaches. They had no value for what they had. They allowed an oil industry come in and put poison all over the place, because a lot of them make a lot of money in the oil field. How many refineries are there? If you really cared about your area, you wouldn't allow so much poison in there. You wouldn't allow that industry to come over and take over your whole backyard. But you valued money. And so then you ended up, putting in PP oil. Eventually that was going to catch up to you, because you allowed it. And like karma, it came back and bit you in the ass. Japan, 55 nuclear power plants. And we've got an energy crisis, and yet just check out their industry. What are they mostly making? Things that need more energy? We're trying to, shut your lights off. Meanwhile, let's sell you 20 different new products that all need batteries, all need for you to recharge. It's going to come back at you like a karma effect. And it may seem like they're natural catastrophes, but what you do to the planet is like a karma. You can't think that if you dig a hole in the earth, that there's not going to be a hole there for you. When we are consciously aware, it means we see ourselves destroying ourselves. It does not mean that we are consciously aware and we're helping each other. We've done that shit a long time. And we help each other with bullets. We help each other go to war. We help each other with food banks. We help each other, like the medical profession, take a pill. We got to stop helping each other. We got to, start looking at what created all of this hell and stop the dominoes. That's when we start being consciously aware. I don't see that happening yet, but that's where I see that we will get it. We will get it. I do have a lot of faith in that, but we ain't there yet. Peace out.